Okay, so in the previous lectures, we created inside of Xcode the main method that was the generate text with private server, which was a way for us to send text chat messages from the user interface. We would write it, click on send, and get the reply from the LLM that's inside of LM Studio. We used Llama 2 and we used different ones. However, this time what we want to do is something totally different. Is instead of a chat system, we want to send pictures. So we want to capture photos with the phone. Once we capture the photo, we want to send it to the LM Studio API and then get the description from the language model. So we'll get the description back and we'll display that on the screen. So first, the first step is to actually get set up. How do we do that? Well, let's get to LM Studio. And inside of LM Studio, we need to go to the local interference server. So this double arrow tab. And here, let's open a Vision one. So you guys remember, the way to make that work is to load a Vision language model that can actually take a look at the image and then tell what's inside of the image. So I'm going to go with this one with the 4.37 gigs. This model is the Mistral one, or MIS. If you don't have it installed, just search for it in the search bar here. Okay, give it a second, it's loading. Here we go. And then we'll start the server. Here we go, it's running on port 1234. And you should already have your connection, by the way, inside of the terminal. Make sure that you have the port already running. So as you can see, my port is running. I can see the HTTP requests here, and I can see them also on the web interface. So I can copy the web interface, go to, let's say, Safari. I have it open already. I can just refresh, and you can see that I have all the calls here with the network requests and the responses. Okay, great. So this is set up. And if you take a look at the examples, you should see one that says Vision in Python. So we already ran that earlier, right? You guys remember that we did that in Python, and it needs to be base64 encoded images to send. What I want to make sure is, let's take a look if we can actually interact with this. So go to AI chat. So we would like to test it with the AI chat, but we can't because we need to disable the server first. So go back to the double arrow and stop the server. You can eject the model, go back to the AI chat, and here now we can create a new chat. But before we work on that, let's select the model. I'm going to use, let's say this time, the Obsidian F16, the 6 gigs one. Let it load. All right, it's loaded. And by the way, before even entering a message, make sure here you select a way that you can have the correct input. Here, since it's Obsidian, I'm going to select Obsidian Vision. And I'm going to need to select an image. And the image I'm going to select is the same image. So going back to the double quote, I can get the image from the Vision image URL here. So I can just select this and paste it inside of any web browser to access this. So just copy this. You can press Command C or Control C on Windows. Going to Safari here, I'm going to paste it. Here is the image. Right click, save image as, and I'm going to save it in my desktop. And I'm going to call it penguins.jpg. All right, it's saved. So now I can go back to LM Studio and go back to the AI chat. I'm going to click on the icon to upload an image as the user and select the penguins image. Click open. There we go. And in the user message, let's type what's in the image, question mark. Press enter. And now let it do its thing. It's processing. And it's going to get the description of what's inside of the image. There we go. The image features a group of penguins walking and standing on the snowy surface and so on. All right. Now let's go back to the server tab. Click on server and let's start the server again. There we go. And it says that the Vision adapter is loaded. Perfect. That's exactly what we need. And base64 encoded image. All right. So I'm going to clear the log. And at this point, we have the server running. and we can make the requests. And by the way, if you guys remember, inside of the terminal, we do have an example. So I'm going to clear here. And if you guys remember, I'm going to do ls to check. We have this example image.py that's a Python script. So let's just run it just to make sure that we can access the API correctly. So I'm running this. It's going to give me a warning. And then it's going to go and okay, so the warning because of the SSL. You might not have that warning again. And now it's going to get the description out of the image. It's a different image. Okay, there we go. The image features a snow on the ground. Perfect. We have all the connections ready to the API. So far, so good. Now we can actually get to the iOS app.